The bad news last night that sours the win. Josh Jung, fractured wrist. He's out for a while as he was one of three that was drilled by the same pitcher. Evan Carter, Adolis Garcia hits number 100, then he gets hit, and then you have the bad injury to Josh Jung. Bobby, Choppy, and I did not think that it was definitely intentional. Don't know about Ranger Retribution this evening to send a message back. Did you think any of this was on purpose?
No. First off, I mean, the first guy to get hit, Evan Carter, he gets hit a lot to begin with. Like, just, throughout his minor league career, he was getting hit a lot.
Yeah, we could rename him Hit a Lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
good. That's a good one,
right? HBP. That's what I've always called Evan Carter. But you also got to look at the fact that all these, like when he hits Adolis, he's clearly frustrated that he accidentally hit him. Like you see him go damn it, didn't mean to. It wasn't on purpose. And
bases were loaded, right?
No, I don't think so.
One of them
when Young was
Adolis.
Adolis
got hit.
Adolis.
Yeah, Adolis was bases loaded.
So and then
Second time
Young
you've been wrong this morning.
Young was it was close enough that he was trying to swing at it. Like it wasn't. I think if he's
was
trying
he
to hit
swinging
him,
to defend himself, or was he swinging to swing?
No, it's I think it rode in, and he was just a little fooled by it. But I mean, I don't think that any of this was on purpose. It obviously is tough with the connection of it's the Rays, and they've gotten their teeth kicked in by you at home several times now. And then the guy on the mound for you is a guy who'd been with the Astros, who, especially with somebody like Adolis, they're probably not big fans of him if you were over on the Astros last year. And so I understand why it's an easy connection to make, but he looked frustrated like he didn't mean to do it. And I think we'll know. Baseball players generally, it feels like there's no question to them. They know when it's on purpose, even if we don't. And so I think we'll know today based on does somebody get thrown out. But of course, Dunning hit two guys last night.
Yeah, and let's be fair. I don't really have a problem with people hitting people on purpose.
No, I don't either.
It's part of the game.
I don't either. I just don't think this was.
Headhunting, yes, I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with you riding somebody up into their upper, their shoulders. And that sounded really bad. The problem is you get hit on the hand. I mean, there's no padding. There's no fat. There's no meat. It's exposed bone. And that's an easy way to break, and it's an easy 4 to 6 weeks that you won't see that player again. And that's a problem. And no matter what kind of a jerk you are, you don't want to see the guy you're playing against be gone for a month. These guys are all doing the same thing. So even if he was trying to hit him, I don't have a problem with that. That's the game. The problem is that if you do it 3 times in a row to 3 people and you were trying to hit all of them, all right, now you're a problem. You're a problem. I need to go. I don't know if that was the case. I doubt it was. I mean, I doubt anyone out there is trying to hit 3 guys in a row. 2 of them, Adolis and Young. I mean, those were tailing fastballs that rode in on the hitter. Even if you're trying to throw inside, and he was, the catcher was lined up inside again on Josh Jung. And, if you're lined up inside and you try to bust him in, it's early in the year, your command is not where it's going to be in June. You're off a little bit, and it rides, you're going to hit the guy. That's the way it is.
So Adolis hits number 100. If someone was going to get hit, it would probably be Garcia, even though you'd be terrified of him because of his stature. But, man, he pimps every home run. And
every single one.
He pimps every home run. Maybe not to the Rugi extent, but there's always some flair and some style on every one he hits, and that includes the one that he hit last night.
I don't know. It might be worse than Rugi. Because Rugi's was always the he'd kind of flip the bat a little, kind of drop it and definitely show up this is what I do, people. But Adolis feels much more loud and emotional than even Rugi's do.
Look, that's his flair. The guy's got aura for days, and it's you love it when it's on your team, and if it's not on your team, then you're like, oh, this guy, someone drill him. That's what other fans are thinking about, and
we should nickname him Pimps Every Home Run Garcia.
Absolutely.
That should be his nickname.
25th player in franchise history with 100 or more home runs for the Rangers. The 11th player in baseball with 100-plus home runs since the start of 2021. So that shows the power surge taking place. And then Chuck Cooperstein, friend of the show,
Yes.
He was catching some shots last night on social media when it comes to Josh Jung's injuries.
Man, he was. He posted, I'll tell you a text about this one. He posted on Twitter, he goes, I know it's early in his career, but Josh Jung sure seems injury prone. Shame, he's such a terrific talent. Caught some strays for that one. And then he goes back and said, good to see Ranger fans in midseason form.
Oh, you mean Chuck did not back off? Has he ever backed off?
Not that I'm aware of. I've been around that guy for a long time, and he believes what he believes.
Have you ever heard him say, like, I was dead wrong. I got it wrong.
I'm sure about a player that he didn't think was going to make it, but if he has an opinion on something, generally his opinion is he forms his opinion with pretty good knowledge. He said, good to see Ranger fans in midseason form. Doesn't matter how it happens. It just happens.
Ooh.
Y'all killed Porzingis for the same reasons. Great talent just wasn't or hasn't been available. So his stake is, look, it happens. Doesn't matter how it happens. If you're not there, if you're not available, doesn't matter. I disagree with Hagee on that one with Dak because he called Dak injury prone. And I'm like, no, Dak's not injury prone. Miles Austin, you get those soft tissue groin pulls every time. That's injury prone. Dak, he got rolled up on his hand on a helmet, right? Broke his thumb. Didn't his elbow happen the same kind of way? It was ripped back. Calf was a relation to the ankle. To me,
I'm surprised Chuck had that tape. That's the fascinating part of the discussion. Does it matter how it happens, or are you just injury prone? I agree with you. It matters how it happens.
Yeah, it does to me. I mean, like, if you just get hit a lot. Now, Giancarlo Stanton used to get hit a lot, right? And then, and that's why you hit the big G on his on his helmet. Like, he used to get hit a lot.
Which has become pretty commonplace. A lot of guys wear it.
Yeah, now a lot of guys wear the C-flap.
Like, Bobby's injury prone. If I take a bat and swing at your knee 3 times in this calendar year, that doesn't make you injury prone.
No, yeah.
Bobby's injury,
makes you
whiny prone.
Makes you an assaultist.
Makes me an assaultist.
Right.
Yeah, matters how it happens.
Even though my sick days probably total up to less than both of you. But yeah, I'm injury prone.
Yeah.
No, here's, I think
try working a little more.
The offensive thing,
you get more sleep.
That is it. Well, not now. Now that you're driving your cool 22 minutes from Sunnyvale.
23.
I look at it as the offensive part to me is trying to compare Josh Jung to Porzingis, because Porzingis felt a lot of times like his was quit. Honestly, like it felt like Porzingis was looking for any reason to tap out on a basketball game, and so to me, we're talking about his 2 biggest injuries recently were the broken thumb and the broken wrist.
Fractured thumb in August, stress fracture in his foot, and a torn labrum in his shoulder that required surgery and a lengthy recovery. I admit, when he got drilled, I did say to myself, "Oh, Josh is hurt again." I did say that to myself.
Right. Now, look, I mean, Adolis gets hit. Now, if Adolis got hit in the same spot, the same way, like, because obviously Adolis on the left hand, the back of the hand, right? Very small bones there. And then Jung was hit in the outer side of the right wrist, which is his throwing wrist, obviously. But what is more exposed? And then Adolis also is a tank. Like, you can't. I don't think a bullet could go through his arm. I really don't think so. So it's like, and then here's Josh Jung, and he's not fragile by any stretch. He's a big dude too. But Adolis is he is not human.
214 says this was right after the Rangers got their rings with the road meaning. Even though the players didn't design the rings, the Rays are still butthurt. So he thinks this is related. 214 thinks this is related to those rings.
Well, Maton was on the Astros last year.
Exactly.
Not even
so
with
he's
the
included
Rays.
on that ring, though.
He is.
That means
The
he is.
majority of fans are going to think it was intentional, and they're going to want blood tonight.
In a vacuum, if you just hear they hit 3 batters in a row last night, you think, that sounds personal.
You got to look at the throws. And I suspect the Rangers will get retribution tonight.
You think so?
I do. They got to be careful because, let's see, do they play? Is there a third game this year? Or is this just 2 games? I think there's a 3.
Look at our 105 for the fans schedule.
Noon, right?
Noon
Wednesday.
Yeah, so I think Wednesday's the day you do it.
Why?
I think if you do it today, it looks too obvious. Wednesday is a getaway day, right? So you don't play a third game of the series. You do it Wednesday late in the game, and you end it. that ends retribution.
Yeah, but the only problem is that, like, baseball players talk about, when you do that at the end of a series, at the end of a game, it comes off looking really soft. Like, oh, you wait till we're out of town, we can't get a chance to. You're soft.
I mean, that's
but we're matching what you did.
Yep.
You shouldn't get a chance to come back at us. We're evening it.
That's true, but that was apparently, like, I know there's been discussion, like, that was something some of the Rangers themselves had issues with years ago when they hit Bautista. Was last at bat of the last game of the series. Like, that makes us look bad.
So what do y'all think? Do you think that Josh Jung is starting to become injury prone? Is that thought in your mind? And does it matter how it happens? Or you agree with Chuck Cooperstein, it doesn't matter. Just the fact that it happened. 877-881-1053 in order to hit us up, Choppy.
All right, there's from the 214, there's injury prone, then there's bad luck. From the 682, facts are facts, but context matters. Let's see. That was obviously, people say right after the Rangers got the rings. He had two people that hit homers. It was on purpose.
But they didn't get the rings in Tampa. They didn't hold the ceremony on the road in order to introduce it against you. I just think the guy was wild. I think.
Yeah, I think he lacked.
But I also think you may have to go back at them. It's like, come on now.
Even if he wasn't doing it with intent, you still did it. You still got to go back at him.
It's like rein him in a little bit. He's drilled, like the Evan Carter one. You got to start there, right? Like, do you even count that? Again, context matters how it happens.
If you hit Carter's back foot with a sweeping slider, I'm over it.
I was curious, how did he pitch those cues? Okay, am I forgetting, did he give up one of those home runs to Adolis or something like that? Is that what? And I look, he threw 4 1/3 innings against the Rangers in the ALCS last year. He gave up 1 hit and struck out 5. Like, he had no problems with that. So typically I wouldn't think he's like bitter personally that he got shown up or anything.
Yeah, Abreu might.
Sure.
When they play Abreu might.